Welcome to today's edition of the program Newspapers Today. My name is Kayode Adebayo. Let me quickly run through the available newspapers for review this morning. First, I have with me the Punch newspaper. The Nation newspaper is also with me. I have Daily Sun here. Daily Trust is also here with me. Then I have the Leadership newspaper. This Day is also here, This Day newspaper. Then the Nigerian Tribune. Business Day is available for review. Then the New Telegraph is also here. I also have with me the Guardian newspaper. Now the Blueprint newspaper is also here. So that's the last of all the papers. Then let me quickly run through the headlines before we commence the review. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, Naira crisis may disrupt polls. INEC warns Emefiele. NSA, that's National Security Advisor. Then on the front page of the Nation newspaper, Naira scarcity sparks protest. On the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper, angry bank customers destroy ATMs, vehicles. I have another story on the Daily Trust newspaper. Buhari convenes emergency council of state meeting Friday. On the front page of the Leadership newspaper, cash crunch, no end in sight as PMB, governors, CBN keep more. Then on the front page of This Day newspaper, another related story, Naira scarcity, Buhari, Bagudu, Tambua, Emefiele, Bawa meet, seek solution. I have another one on the front page of Nigerian Tribune, fuel Naira crisis. TUC, NLC demand immediate action from Buhari, CBN. Then on the front page of the Business Day newspaper, big tech firms leave Yaba for Ikoyi on infrastructure need. Then on the front page of the New Telegraph, Naira limit will make cash available to you, CBN assures INEC. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, currency swap, Buhari of the Blueprint newspaper, tussle over Naira redesign, unscrupulous politicians out to sabotage Buhari government. That is coming from the federal government. Now, with me in the house is my regular guest on the program, Citizen Lolawe. You are welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
How's the family?
We're doing great.
Okay, let's commence the review proper. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, Naira crisis may disrupt polls. INEC warns.
Because Nigerians are angry, and then INEC also need money to do a lot of things that has to be done in preparation and then in carrying out the election proper. And then with the current policy, they seal on the maximum amount of money that can be issued out to corporate organizations. But I believe that with this discussion that has taken place between INEC and CBN governor, all that should be ironed out. And I also believe that a lot of the activities that INEC need to carry out can also be done through online banking. However, if Nigerians are angry and are not willing to come out to vote or do not have the means of transporting themselves to where they need to start in their hometowns, whereas they are residents in the urban areas. If they do not have money to transport themselves back to their hometowns where they registered, how will they vote? If the level of anger that we have seen in the last few days continues, how are we sure of the safety of the lives of INEC officials? We have seen how bank personnel have been attacked in some places. So we don't know going by what we have seen, one can also start figuring out what may be the lot of INEC officials if the Naira scarcity issue is not properly handled within the next few days.
Okay. Now let's move to the Nation newspaper. Naira scarcity sparks protests.
I just said it. Yes, people are angry. There's a common saying which says, hungry people are angry people. Nigerians are hungry. They are angry. We were asked to deposit our old notes in banks. We deposited these old notes across the counter. The policies say, do not pay new currency across the counter. And I've come out with the conclusion that not more than 34% of Nigerians are banked. 56% of Nigerians are unbanked. So when they deposit their old notes across the counter, and they are not given new notes, there's definitely going to be a problem. So people have, in order to meet the last deadline that was set, majority of Nigerians have deposited their old notes and were unable to get new notes. So they are stranded. They have deposited all they have, but there's no money for them to feed. But also, because all of us, the government is not planning, didn't think this policy out very well. They didn't take time to sit over it and ensure that all loopholes have been blocked before implementing the policy and before setting deadlines and before the arrogance that was displayed by governments. And then the Central Bank of Nigeria also came out pointing accusing fingers at commercial banks, indirectly telling us that these are your enemies. So Nigerians decided to attack their perceived enemies, staff of commercial banks, governments whose policy that is believed to be faulty. The policy is very good. It is the implementation strategy that is faulty. We are a country of over 200 million people. 56% of us are not banked. 34 out of the 34% of those of us that are banked, majority of our states do not have banking facilities in most of the rural areas, with the exception of states like Lagos, Oyo, and a few other states. In Osun, I know that not many of our towns have banking facilities. So when people are required to deposit their money into their bank accounts, and they can't get notes, and they are afraid of being caught by the deadline. So we have created a problem. Government created a problem unknowingly. They didn't think about it. And then we Nigerians, being who we are, Nigeria is a great country. Nigeria is a blessed country. They have made us to become unnecessarily selfish and greedy. So that is where our religious organizations, all, without any exception, has failed us as a people. They have taken our minds away from God, away from everything that is good, away from everything that is godly. So we are simply a country of godless people. And because we're godless, when there's a problem, we don't think about how to solve the problem peacefully, because we're already used to a culture of violence. There's violence in the home. Children grow up seeing their parents violating each other's rights. So they have grown to accept it as a norm, as a way of life, as a way of settling disputes. Disputes are better settled when you judge.
Yeah.
Because when you go to war, you will still come back to judge.
Yeah. Okay.
When children misbehave at home, we should sit them down and talk to them.
Okay.
When spouses offend each other, instead of engaging in physical, verbal, psychological violence, they should sit down together and think of how to resolve the issues.
Okay.
And one must be ready to let go.
All right. Now, on the front page of the Daily Sun, angry bank customers destroy ATMs, vehicles. I think you've spoken about that.
Just because they believe that the banks, the commercial banks, are our problems.
Yes.
That's the impression that the Central Bank of Nigeria has created in the minds of
the people,
Nigerians.
Okay. Now let's see the related story on the same paper, Daily Sun. CBN won't be used to scuttle election. That is coming from Emefiele.
I'll be glad to see that. If that hasn't been done, probably unintentionally or probably intentionally, because Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are angry with the government of the day. So in a way, maybe Central Bank has been used to kind of scuttle the election.
Okay. Now, let's move to the Daily Trust newspaper now. National crisis. Buhari convenes emergency Council of State meeting Friday.
Today is Wednesday.
Yes.
So if the emergency council meeting holds on Friday, the outcome of that meeting gets to us on Monday. When will that council meeting be carried out? And when will it become? How will it affect our